How about that? Hear me now? Is the audio okay? Hear me? It's good now. I don't know why it does that. Like I literally had everything set up for the audio input to come in from the mic, and I had to go back in and change it back to the same setting, but like move away from it and then come back, and then that's weird. But anyways, what I was saying was, hopefully you guys are doing very well. Um, let me restart that all over again. But anyways, yeah, for those who want to show support to the channel directly without YouTube taking anything of it, the QR code is right there for donos. It's also going to stay up there in the corner. If you guys want to do that, that's much appreciated. But basically, just liking the video and sharing it is the biggest way you guys can help me out with these podcasts. So we really appreciate that. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. You do have the option of becoming a member, which there is members only exclusive content for you guys. That's happening, and full on schedule starts this Monday for that. But there's already been some stuff being posted as a members exclusive only. So if you guys haven't become a member today, definitely want to go and hit that. There's only one tier, and that's it. So there's not multiple tiers to choose from. There's just one price, one tier, all access. All right. Anyways, let's get past that stuff, because there's some stuff I want to talk about that's just been going on over the week. So we'll get into that right now. Welcome in. So as the title implies, I am going to be talking about Mobile X and basically their recent partnership with the X Games. And it's a huge accomplishment for Mobile X, being the fact that, I've been into extreme sports since I was a kid, right? Grew up, my adolescent years basically went like full throttle for skateboarding. Hooked up with some pretty cool people back home in Hawaii, especially the Natural Concept team. Got to know a few people on there. Real good friends with Cully Sandridge, who was a pro rider for Natural Concept, and pretty much just like linked up with him and skated like all over different skate parks and spots in Hawaii. So like, extreme sports is just kind of like a thing that I'm very into, right? Surfing, snowboarding, skiing, BMX. Like I've watched it all. I've tried it all. My main forte was skateboarding though, but yeah. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that, kind of get into also my experience with Visible and what that has been like for me. As well as talking about this Google Pixel update issue, and that for those people that have the Pixel 8 Pro with the recent update for their devices, bringing more capabilities to that sensor that you can use to basically check your temperature and all that. So all that in today's episode. We got about an hour of discussion to kind of go into it. Good sponsorship, going after the younger generation. Yeah, I think Mobile X is kind of like that's who their demographic target is. Besides those that want to save money, they're also looking at being something like an option for the younger generation to kind of go after. There's a lot of the young generation that wants like the best of everything, or what they consider to be the best of everything. But then there's just those that like know what they want. Like, they don't need too much of this or too much of that. They want to be able to have money to buy other things, but still want to have phone service. And so Mobile X kind of can cater to that. I mean, it's the same approach that Peter Adderton actually was doing with Boost Mobile. He was targeting the younger generation with Boost Mobile. That was his initial idea. And even for those that don't know about the logos of Boost Mobile, they initially were created based upon like, a ramp design. Pretty much just, targeting the younger demographic. But and big news, basically Mobile X was able to land a partnership deal with the X Games, being a sponsor for the X Games. This did not come as a shocker to me, because if anyone follows Peter Adderton and his social media, that he shares his personal life on social media, he's always bike riding. He's very heavy into extreme sports and racing. So like on his Instagram, it's chock full of like video footage of like the Boost mobile car racing, him going mountain biking, just all those things he's very, very into. He's very active in that culture. So it didn't surprise me that, looking for their first sponsorship, literally you would basically be getting the X Games, which is a huge accomplishment. Like, I've been watching the X Games since, I was like 15, 16 years old, right? I watched when I believe it was Tony Hawk landed the 900 at a actual tournament, right? So like the 900 actually was landed by Danny Way, and this was filming a part for a skate video, but Tony Hawk was the first to do it at a competition event. So Tony Hawk pretty much, that's the reason why, like, one of the reasons that he's recognized for the 900, 2.5 rotations on the vert ramp. Insanely pulled off. Danny Way also hit the 900, and he was just recording, like I said, for a skate video magazine back in the day. But also Danny Way very well recognized for somebody who dropped in on the half pipe from a helicopter. So that was pretty insane. I remember those things from back in the day. Like, I was heavy into skateboarding. Favorite brand actually was Shorty Skateboards, followed up by Alien Workshop. If I was to like set up, a complete, it would be one of those two board companies with Tensor trucks, Bone Swiss ABEX 7 bearings. And for like, for the screws to hold the trucks onto the board, Shorty's Hardware, Shorty's, was it not called impact pads, but they were padding you put between the truck and the board to absorb most of the shock when landing a tricks. And man, can I tell you guys, man, those are the days. Those are awesome. What up, alternate reality? No, I just basically just took the sides down. Just makes it easier to pull it back. But I didn't actually like cut it. It's still long, growing long. But anyways, so Mobile X hitting that. But the other thing that's quietly snuck in there with Mobile X that I want to let everybody know about is that there is an 800 number available for people to call in, and it's a little bit unorthodox. One thing I do want to say is that yes, there is a voicemail to that customer service number, and the reason why is that high call volume, you can get a call back, you can leave a quick message. Besides going through the Mobile X app and contacting expert care by opening a support ticket, you can call in that 833 number and basically get talk to a live rep. And I want to say this off jump too, because I know some people just want to like mess around. Don't call that number to troll it. Don't troll the damn number. Okay. Originally, all of customer care requests were literally done through the support ticket in the Mobile X app. But because a lot of people are like, they want to talk to a live rep, they want to talk to a live rep over the phone. Like, yes, Mobile X, you asked, like Peter Adderton said, you ask, you shall receive. And that's what people got. It is still in beta testing. I'll tell you guys that much right now. What I mean by beta testing is just the best way to basically service customers, right? Again, Mobile X is not trying to be the same type of customer service experience that you would get from other providers that people have complained about. Yes, it may feel like that at times, and that's because your feedback is very, very much needed. That's the only way that Mobile X is going to be able to make changes that benefit customers, is by customer feedback, and like real feedback. No bullshit feedback. Don't be like, oh yeah, you guys got to give me credit. Like, give real feedback. I know it's hard for a lot of us to believe a company is really listening to what we're saying, because we've heard other companies use that same excuse. We're listening, we're gonna make changes, and then nothing ever changes, and we're like, oh, okay, I spent like 15 minutes filling out a survey to get blown off. I'm telling you guys, that's not what's happening with Mobile X. Change can't be like implemented immediately once you suggest it, but it is going to be implemented throughout time. And we just need the straight feedback. That's what I would say directly to everybody. Give that feedback so that way they can make the experience better. It's the only way. But they now do have a number that you guys can contact. Let me see. Let me log into my Twitter and I'll grab it directly from Adderton's tweet. He tweeted about it. So like, yeah. Mobile X, theme is be you. Yeah, they really are about you being you. I mean, they're not blowing smoke up anyone's ass. That's their whole selling point. Literally is just to hang on. Gotta open up another window here. Customize your plan to be what you want it to be, or choose either the two basic unlimited plans. That's how they have always wanted things to be. Even when they were calling the unlimited plans fake unlimited. All right, let me find his tweet about it, and then I'll post the number in the chat. He's very active. Posted a video of someone putting the Mobile X sticker on their snowboard. That's freaking dope as hell. Winter X Games. Yeah, they're definitely pushing for that. Here we go. I'll put it in the chat. You guys want to like save this or whatever? Definitely take that number down. As he says, so customers told us they wanted live number to call care. So we heard you. And today is the day. Expert Care call line is live. That is awesome. Shout out to you, Mr. Adderton, for doing that. I know a lot of people love to have like a vocal interaction with somebody rather than, texting on their phone or typing on a keyboard. They want to know that they're actually talking to a real person. And sometimes just that little bit goes a long way. Just that little bit of talking to a live person makes all the difference. Believe it or not, makes all the difference. So yeah, this is super cool. Really good for Peter Adderton to do this with Mobile X. I was thinking about calling in, but yeah, it's probably not a good idea that I call in on an open live right now just to say hi to them and to do all that. That wouldn't be cool. Currently, Mobile X service is on my iPhone 12. I have it on my iPhone 12, and then my visible line is on my Pixel 7, which is charging on my desk over here. And then the Infinite Live is still live for some reason, so I have that SIM card in my Pixel 5a until it completely turns off. But I have no plans on keeping it whatsoever or keeping the number. Oh yeah, so this one currently I'm on a customized plan. I'm not on the $25 30 gigabyte plan, and let me refresh this because I know I have less than 15 gigabytes. Basically, I did the 15 gigabyte plan. Let's see if you guys can see that. There we go. Here we go. 15 gigabyte plan. And as you can see, I still have 15 gigabytes. I mean, I did do a video call, but it probably updates the data usage 4 times a day. So I would say like in increments every 6 hours. It'll update. So I'll find out here in a little bit. I mean, yeah, I agree with you. It would be nice to hear a voice at visible, because sometimes the issue just, you're better explaining things vocally. See, that's the reason why that I feel like that chat and live call customer service reps are absolutely needed. You can't just focus on one and say we're going to do chat only, because some people can express what they're trying to say vocally than to type out word for word. I can tell you the reason that I'm able to, keep a steady pace conversation with a visible chat rep. I don't type out what I'm chatting in about when I contact support on Visible app. I use the voice to text on my Google Pixel since they do really good in basically converting my speech to text. It does a phenomenal job. So I use that. But even then, it would still be nice to talk to a live person. Or, if Visible doesn't want to have it where they have to call in type of thing, they always want to funnel things through chat. Okay, I would simply be okay with it if everything goes through chat until in that chat when you're chatting with a live rep, you ask them to give you a call to a specific number. They have ways to verify you. They can send you a link to the email to verify your identity of who you are, but having them actually call you and then you be able to talk to them over the phone is great. Because the chat can stay open while they're talking to you live. And if supposedly drop calls happen, well, then you can just hit in the chat box, call me back. They can call you back. Trust me, I know all the dirty secrets of call centers. Maybe one day I'll do a podcast just opening up and telling you guys the bad secrets that call centers face when it comes to customer service reps. I had a couple of issues with Visible and spent days chatting with their reps. Voice is more efficient to resolve issues, I think. Yeah, it does play a part in it because you have the person on the phone, and anything that changes immediately, you can vocally say it. I mean, you can not vocally, but you can type in the chat if anything changes in the middle of you troubleshooting. I would always advise people that if you are chatting in with the rep for Visible because of an issue on your phone, do it from a laptop. Don't do it from your device because they give you instructions on what to check and what to do. It does become irritating to have to back out of the chat. Hopefully the chat stays open, search for what you need to search for on your phone, come back and give them what you were able to find or whatever. So I would always do it from like a laptop or my desktop or even from another phone. I would log into another phone. Well, actually, no, you can't these days because now they limit the logins on Visible to one device. So you can't do that anymore. But I would just say do it from another device to resolve issues. I feel reps are working on multiple cases as the replies were taking 3 to 5 minutes. They actually are. I can tell you right now, being with companies that actually push for chat interactions, I can tell you, Boost Infinite chat rep has to be able to multitask, handle 2 accounts at the same time, no more than 2. So I would say that's probably the sweet spot for a lot of customer service rep centers. If they're doing chat, then they are doing it where they're handling 2 accounts at the same time. They have 2 different windows open. And this is why sometimes, I don't know if you ever caught this. Have you ever caught it where you chatted with somebody about an issue with your phone and then they hit you with a reply that seems irrelevant to what you were chatting in about? And you're kind of left pondering what's going on here? And then they quickly reply to push that out of the way. Hopefully you didn't think too hard about the response, that it had nothing to do with you. I've had it happen to me 3 times and it was the funniest thing. But because I know the intricacies of the call center, that I would just simply hit them and just be like, hey man, wrong account, you're chatting with the wrong person, go to the other one. And they'll be puzzled, how the fuck does this guy know? But that's the game. That's how it does. They won't let you work at one account at the one account at a time, only because be honest with you guys, a lot more people actually prefer to chat in than talk over the phone. So there's more people that there's put it this way, when I looked at Boost Infinite's queue for waiting customers, there were more customers waiting in queue for chat than there were for a voice rep. And then sorry, it's my weird water bottle. And then you got Mobile X that does support tickets via, it's like an email style. So or not an email style, but it's kind of email-ish. It's kind of also like Threads and Reddit, and the only reason they do it that way, for those people who don't understand that, is because they want you to respond at your leisure. They don't want you to feel like that you have to continue the conversation right now and you only got 15 minutes to do it or anything like that. You could take the whole day. They can respond back to you about a question that you asked, and then you can respond back 10 hours later. Everything is there from one rep to another to see. So there's not a lot of room for confusion when you have the entire catalog thread of the interactions with you and Mobile X Expert Care. So I think it's pretty cool. So it allows you to do that at your own leisure. And actually, I'm gonna, let's see. There we go. Put this as a ticker. There we go. How's that? I'll keep that on throughout the entire podcast so you guys can take down Mobile X's live care rep number. And if you don't get through, do leave a voicemail. Don't just hang up. Leave a voicemail. Leave your name, the reason you're calling in for, a great contact number to reach you back. It doesn't have to be your Mobile X phone number. If the issues with your Mobile X phone, you can use like a house phone, a secondary cell phone number, but a number that they can reach you back on. And don't forget to give your name, so that way they know who to call. Because again, there is a voicemail system with that number, I believe. And yeah, you want to give pertinent information when you get the call back. What's up, Bobby Warren? What's going on? I feel, yeah. But anyways, yeah, so those are the big news with Mobile X, basically getting that X Games sponsorship deal. That was pretty solid. But also the release of a live care rep number, which is in the ticker below right there. You guys can write that down, put it in your phone dialer, contact list, whatever you need to do, so you guys have that number to contact customer care or expert care. I'm kind of switching tracks here. So I can tell you guys that Verizon has made big strides in my city, because like a month ago, I was telling you guys about, how, a month ago, I think like a month and a half or 2 months ago, I was talking about how Visible's Visible Plus plan didn't do so well. Well, obviously it didn't do so well because Verizon had to have been upgrading towers around my area. As of now, and I posted some pictures on X, so you guys can, if you guys follow me on X, you guys probably saw them. But I've been running just a couple of speed tests for everyone just kind of to see how visible it's been with my Pixel 7a, my Pixel 7, and all these other devices that I have, including my Galaxy A53. That's, it was Boost Mobile, but it's unlocked from Boost Mobile, and it works just fine on there. I can tell you guys, my Pixel 7a and my Pixel 7 had received the highest in the downlink, uplink, and the latency. Well, low latency, really high download, and I would say about medium on the uplink. So what I mean by that is that my highest downlink on Visible Plus with my Pixel 7a was 909 megabits per second on the down, and the uplink was, I think, 27 megabits per second on the uplink. The ping was at 20 milliseconds, but the loaded downlink one was at 431, and the loaded uplink one was at 658. So those are the speeds that I got. Visible actually doing pretty good, and yeah. Mobile X was aptly named to partner with X Games. Not that Peter Adderton looked at Mobile X and looked at his company and said, we're going to call it Mobile X so we can get the X Games attention. The real reason that the Mobile X is called Mobile X is that they didn't want to be the traditional MVNO that everyone is used to seeing. So it's like they are mobile wireless, but they're not the same to that extent. Hence, like Brand X, right? Everyone knows Brand X is synonymous with being with a type of industry that goes against the normal industry rules and regulations and stuff like that. So, like, Peter Adderton's like a rebel. He is a rebel and does not care who he pisses off. I think it was funny the other day because I made a point to say on X, that if I talk about a brand and I share a brand, I share it absolutely. What up, Sneed? I share it absolutely because I use the services and I enjoy it, and it's not to kiss the asses of CEOs. And it was funny that Adderton responded back and said he wouldn't want it any other way, and that's great. You know what I mean? But yeah, he's just one of those CEOs that is very outspoken. Nice guy and everything like that. He actually does care about his company, his people that work for him. I mean, he absolutely does care. Like, not gonna tell anybody, like anything different, because, when I went through bad stuff, I got a direct email from him. It wasn't through the company itself. It was from him. And, just even like little things like that goes a long way. It meant a lot. But yeah, so anyways, but yeah, with Visible, I feel like that Visible has gotten better in my area. Like, at least Verizon has gotten better in my area. the access that I get from the Visible Plus, because I'm on the promotion right now. Visible gave me 3 months of Visible Plus at the continued price of the $25 plan rather than bumping it up to 45 or 35. So, obviously giving me a taste of what the Plus plan is going to offer, and it's been great. It's been decent. I have a strange but pleasant situation with Visible. I was on $15 base plan last year, then upped to Plus. Now my 15 deal ended, and I'm still getting $45 plan for $25. No complaints. Hey man, I think the only real gripe I had with Visible, and this happened I think 3 years ago. 3 years ago, yeah, about 3 years ago, 4 years ago, was when Visible first started coming out, and they reached out to a bunch of content creators to say, hey, we're going to hook you up with the month service of Visible, and we just need you to try out our services and give a review video. I myself and a few others were contacted. I got my line set up. They set me up an account and everything like that, got my services active, and it was like a week and a half before they were going to lift the data cap they had on there. I remember because Jay Williams actually went ahead and mentioned that way ahead of schedule, and I remember getting an email from their public relations, and they were like, reminding us that we may know about the cap being lifted up, but we were under an embargo not to say anything until the release date of that information, where we already were well aware of it weeks ahead. And so he had to take down his video. And it was a mistake. But yeah, like I reviewed them, reviewed their services, and then like a month later, they sent me like a care package. That's how I got the Visible t-shirt, the coffee mug, the iPhone plug and play fan propeller to cool you down, and a pop socket and some other thing. They sent me like a care package, a box that had like a bunch of stuff inside of it. And it was pretty cool of them to do that. And at the same time too, because Visible was just breaking into the prepaid industry. So I had my referral code where I would get a $20 credit every time someone that would sign up. And there was a bunch of people that used my code that I racked up $700 total in credit. So I didn't pay a phone bill with Visible for almost 2 years. It was like close to the 2-year mark where Visible was like, hey, this guy has had free service with us for so long that they, without telling me, shut down my entire account. And then when I reached out to their customer care, they're like, we can reinstate your account, but everything that was on it was gone. Even though I know they were kind of irritated with me because I had wrote down what my last amount of credit was, and it was $243 in credit that I would still have left. And they were like, oh, there's no way for us to apply that, yada, yada, yada. I was like, whatever. So that was probably my only gripe with them. They could have just said like, hey, we understand you have a lot of this credit here, but we do need you to start paying something on your phone bill. So how about, next month, you pay half your phone bill, like something like that. They could have done that. They didn't have to do me dirty and just close out my account, because I was out and about. I wasn't even at home when that happened, and my service just stopped working. And then when I got home, I checked my email and I saw they gave me an email that said, we're sorry to hear you're going. Like, where the fuck was I going? I wasn't going anywhere. That was my only real big gripe with Visible that, made me very frustrated with them. Because that's dirty. You don't do that, And so this is, I'm not being arrogant when I say this, but I believe I was one of the people for the reason why Visible decided to limit customer referral credits only to 12. You can only get 12 credits for referring a new customer, and then after that, new customers continue to get your referral deal, but you get nothing out of it. Because the same thing happened to me with Google Fi. I mean, with Google Fi, and I put up my referral link, and I racked up $400 in credit. It is a similar thing. My credit disappeared on Google Fi. Which makes me wonder if Mobile X is ever going to do some sort of referral credit. Who knows? We'll have to see. But yeah, that would be my only brush with Visible. But other than that, Visible has been pretty decent. And real reason that I wanted Visible as my main line, because I still have Mobile X, like I said, and I showed you guys earlier. Mobile X is currently on my iPhone 12. But my main line is on Visible. And the reason it's on visible, obviously, is because there's no limitations to the data itself. Even if I was to drop back to the base plan and not have like all the perks of the ultra wideband access on the plus side, the data speeds is still doable for what I do, live streaming, social media, and stuff like that. It still did pretty great. And then also, the hotspot itself, I have my Pixelbook, my Pixelbook Go. Like I have both generations of Pixelbooks. And, if I'm out and about, I can turn on my hotspot and use it. It's unlimited hotspot. There's no limitations to the hotspot other than, the speeds are capped. And they say it's limited to one device connected at a time. I don't know. I'll try it again later, and I'll show you guys if I can connect multiple devices, because I've done it before where I've connected up to 5 devices to my phone's hotspot, and they were all getting active data connection. So, but yeah, that's the reason why. It's not so much like absolutely need unlimited, because I'm on a custom plan right now with Mobile X. 15 gigabytes is what I'm on, and it's been solid. I haven't had an issue at all whatsoever, and I haven't felt like I'm going to run out. I have home Wi-Fi. My phone connects to it when I'm at home, so it's good. It's it's decent in that sense. So yeah, definitely content. And it's funny because the prepaid partners that I use happens to be on Verizon's network. So not saying that I pick a side and all this stuff. I mean, again, brand loyalty and stuff like that is not a concept that I try to push or anything like that. T-Mobile. I've done a video about it, T-Mobile home internet. And if you're going to bring up the fact that they have this 1.2 gigabyte cap, for those that use 1.2 gigabytes, 1.2 terabytes, sorry. If you're going to bring that up, I'm well aware of it. And for what I've seen, it only affects new customers signing up. That there's no confirmation yet if longtime customers will have the same cap. But then again, I see how much data I use at home, doing live streams like this, being on my computer at home, doing things, live streaming on my Google TV, my kids playing on their PS5 and whatnot. And to be honest with you guys, the most that I use in a month is about 721 to 800 gigabytes a month of data on the home internet. And that's also allowing other people's phones to connect, those that have limitations. Like my wife is moving over. Actually, she's already moved over. She's set up again. So she's going to be back on the Pixel 6. And I already got her account and everything set up. I got Visible set up on here for her. We just got to port her number from Boost Infinite over to Visible. So that's going to happen tomorrow. So she'll have Visible going forward. And her brother is getting Visible. So that way he could use the hotspot for his laptop and his tablet and not have to try and find Wi-Fi servers, because he can just use his phone's data connection. So I mean, there's those things that is kind of going on. Moving away from Boost Infinite is for a very good reason. Nothing that Boost Infinite did wrong. I'm not upset at them for really anything. It just, to me, when I went on my trip, it was like, the T-Mobile access side of Boost Infinite worked fairly well. In no area was I able to connect to Dish. In no area. But I don't have a device that can connect to Dish. A lot of my devices, like the Pixel 7a and stuff like that, are not compatible to Dish's network, right? The ones you need is the iPhone 15s can connect to it, and the Galaxy S24s will connect to it. I also think, if I'm not mistaken, the new Solaros can, and the Moto G stylus. Well, that's stylus. What is it? The Edge 2023, I believe, connects to it. Other than that, like most of the phones that I have don't. So I wasn't able to utilize Dish network. I'm sure it's great. I see people run speed tests and post it on X, and I see people that's on Threads as well. I'm active on both platforms, and I see people that's on Threads and they're posting it too. What their results are with Dish, native Dish access, and it looks decent. I just can't tap into it, right? So I would only be dependent on T-Mobile or AT&T. And then I also think it's a little bit unfair it is unfair, the T-Mobile access on Boost Infinite compared to T-Mobile, or not T-Mobile, but AT&T access on Boost Infinite. If you're on AT&T access for Boost Infinite, your threshold is 30 gigs of high-speed data, and then you're slowed down. Well, it's not fair because you're paying $25 for that. But if you go through the Amazon App Store and get the T-Mobile access SIM card, and you're on that for $25, you get 35 gigs before you're slowed down. On the AT&T access side, if you add on the add-on for Speed Pass, you get an additional 10 gigs of data on the AT&T side, which means you moved up from 30 to 40 gigs before you're slowed down. But if you're on the T-Mobile side, you're moved from 35 to 55 gigabytes, which most people can handle 55 gigabytes a month. So there's differences in what you pay. Well, not what you pay, but there's differences in what you get for what you pay. The pay is the same, 25 here, 25 here, 30 here, 35 here. Add Speed Pass, 40 gigs here. Add Speed Pass, 55 gigs here. Like that, it just doesn't seem fair. Boost Infinite gave me a hat and a pair of socks. And service on AT&T was decent in LA, but then Visible was better and cheaper, and taxes were included. I'm not really concerned about Boost Infinite taxes, because the taxes I got from Infinite was just change, right? To be honest, where I live out of my city in the state of Arizona, my taxes, my bill for Boost Infinite without any extras, just a $25 plan, the taxes and fees were 35 cents. So my bill was $25.35. So I'm not too concerned about taxes and fees. Now, if it was on the scale that Google Fi does it, where you're like charge all these different premiums and taxes and all this other stuff, and your bill goes from $65 to $72 because of taxes and fees, yeah, that's a dramatic, that's almost a $10 increase. But anything under $1, I'm not really too concerned about. The same way with Mobile X. Like Mobile X charges $24.88 for their 30 gigabyte basic unlimited plan. It's $24.88 because, of course, their partnership with Walmart. So my bill, the taxes is about $1. So I paid close to $26 for the 30 gigabyte plan. But again, that's very low fees, very low taxes. I'm not concerned. The only time taxes and fees is something that, I would say would be a dramatic thing is if it's like over $5 of taxes. Well, then now you're stepping into territories. But yeah, Visible has been solid. I have no complaints about Visible whatsoever, and just how it's been working out, which is why it's my main device. I do everything from my main device: live stream, record video, and stuff like that. The other day, I recorded video using my Pixel Buds A, using the Buds A as my wireless microphone, and recorded video, and video sounded really good. Like that video was not edited through CapCut or anything. It was uploaded directly from my phone. And I thought the audio was pretty decent, for what it is, right? So, and yeah, so just kind of move into the Google Pixel issues, because there is an issue with Google Pixels. And this has to do with the most recent updates. I'm actually going to pull the article up. Let's see. Oh yeah, here it is. All right. Should be coming up here shortly. There my dogs go. Oh man, my internet is being very sluggish today, or very slow, or something. I have no clue. All right, there we go. That took a minute for it to load. First time that ever happened. That says Google pauses January Play system update amid Pixel storage problems. Okay, so kind of correcting myself the other day where I said it was a software update, but it was a software update for the Play system. right? So if you go into your system update on your Google Pixels, you'll see that there's different ones. There's a software update, that's the actual software, the entire phone, and then there is the Play System update, right, which basically governs, the like the apps and stuff like that. So it says here, just verbatim from what they talked about. It says, while there are several benefits to having updates roll out to devices quickly, the one downside can be the occasional presence of bugs that slips through the cracks. The January 24th Google Play System update may have gone through a similar ordeal, with several Google Pixel owners who installed the update reporting the inability to access device storages this week. Google did say it was working on a fix, and now we're getting some understanding of what's causing the problem. Also, this is an update. Now they're actually saying what caused the problem. First things first, Google has seemingly stopped the rollout for the January 24th Play System update as it tries to ascertain the cause, according to the unnamed source quoted by Android expert and AP contributor Michelle Rahman. Sorry if I butchered the name. The trouble lies within the DCLA mainline modular, per the source, with Rahman diving into the technical details in a well-detailed post on X. So he says, quote, this is from X, Google has halted the rollout. Yep. Of the 2024 GPSU's Google Play System update is what that means. Over the past few days, several users on Reddit, particularly those with Pixel phones, have faced issues with file access. The internal storage isn't being mounted. Let's go to the tweet directly. Let's see. Where was I at? It hasn't been mounted, and the camera was crashes. Files app isn't showing files, screenshots not being saved, etc. Many users have had to factory reset their phone to fix the problem. That's what I said in my video was a fix for it. I may have misspoken on exactly what update was the issue, but the fix was correct. So factory wiping your phone was able to fix it. So if you have this problem and you haven't tried factory resetting your device, I would suggest doing so. I know it's a pain in the butt for everyone to have to wipe their phone and re-sign back into everything. Hopefully you've backed up your phone before, so you have a backup. But and sometimes it's good to like freshly wipe your phone. I wipe my devices completely like every 4 months, and then fresh install everything back in just to get the performance back up, because sometimes these things build up so much cache and so much junk that it could just bog your phone down. So they point to that it was the cause. Well, this causes mismatched dependency issues with other DCLA enabled modules. Dynamic Common Library Apex is a mechanism used by mainline which places shared C++ libraries into a separate Apex in order to deduplicate them, with the goal of reducing the overall size of a train. Google has decided to disable the DSLA functionality for now as they investigate the root cause of this bug. Disabling the DSLA functionality will increase the size of some modules, but should avoid the dependency issue they discovered and hopefully prevent others from experiencing this bug. So this is probably another reason why that, having the kernel updated and everything like that is coming, to Google Pixel devices, namely Tensor-based Google Pixel phones, is because of like bugs, issues like this and whatnot. When you're thinking about the Play System update, obviously, just of how it compresses files and codes from apps that's in the storage itself. So we'll see what happens here. I can tell you guys that none of my Pixels have been affected, and I'm grateful that it has not been affected by this, just because it would have been a real pain in the butt if I had to like fully wipe my device, because I had just wiped all my Pixel phones a month ago. So I had to rewipe it up again. It would have certainly pissed me off, but I will say that at least there is a fix for it, and people are not left with a pretty brick. Some have stated that their phone has completely bricked out. I don't know exactly what went on with that or what. Because again, when I read Reddit and I read other chat forums regarding Google Pixel phones, people will tell you exactly what's wrong with it and why they're so disappointed in Google and, what they need to do better. But you know what? Like, I'm no idiot when it comes to it. People are not going to tell the truth as to what they've done with their phone prior. This is the same thing like when working in a call center and someone tells you that their phone stopped working after they got a system update, but they won't tell you that they rooted their phone and they rooted the phone to de-bloat the phone. And so because they took a system update where it was rooted, during the system update, it crashed and it hard bricked their phone, right? You can't boot into the recovery. You can't sideload the system images, the boot image and everything onto the device because there's no way to access it. Even if you were to connect it by USB, there's no way to access it. And people will like swear up and down that, oh yeah, you know what? It was Sprint who screwed it up. You guys screwed it up and blah, blah, blah. Like, no, you rooted your phone to remove like, the NASCAR app that they used to have that was bloatware, the Sprint app that was bloatware, and all the other Candy Crush and all that other stuff that would like pre-download with the phone. People would root their phones to take those apps off and completely take them off where they won't install because there was an app called App Cloud that would just automatically install all these apps on your device. So anyways, yeah, with the Google Pixels, some people may be experiencing this. There's also the Pixel drop that just happened recently that updated a lot, especially with the Pixel 8's sensors to basically measure, I want to say measure temperature. They even got it now where you can actually take your own temperature with it. So that is available. And that was a Pixel drop update that dropped yesterday alongside the minty fresh Pixel 8 and Pixel 8 Pro, which I don't know who's ordering the minty fresh Pixel 8 or Pixel 8 Pro. I was strongly considering getting the Pixel 8. I will probably wait until I find it on sale from somebody, like a personal seller, and buy it off them in the future, because right now my target is the Pixel 8a. That is my target. That is the phone that I've chosen to upgrade to for my Pixel 7a. I am going to the Pixel 8a. And I think my wife wants the Pixel 8a as well. Like, we're both really big fans of the A series Pixels over the flagships. Like, I enjoy the flagships. I enjoy the Pixel 7. I enjoy the Pixel 6. I still use my Pixel 4 XL. I still, I use all those, but I find better enjoyment using the A series. And if you notice, I said enjoyment, not experience. The experiences are the same between the A series and the flagships. The difference is the cost that it takes to buy the device outright. And with Google Pixels and the amount of years that they've released an A series device to contrast their flagship devices and their Pro devices, tells me that the A series is in it for the long haul and the long run. That at any given point, they're not going to. Like, I was almost for sure the A series would stay around when they announced the Pixel 7a. With the 8a already leaked, that solidifies that Google is going to keep the A series around. There's no intentions of them to just solely focusing on the Pixel 8 and 8 Pro. And I can see why people would have thought that when it came to Google Pixel phones, why they would have thought that people were just only going to focus on the flagships, because that's what Apple does. There is not a mid-range Apple device. I wouldn't call the Pixel 7a mid-range either, but there's not really, they have the SE. That's pretty much it, but the SE lacks in certain things. In comparison, the 7a was $100 less than the Pixel 7. But I get the exact same experience that I got with my Pixel 7 that you guys gifted me with the Pixel 7a. And the only difference is that it's a smaller device, it has plastic on the back, and it's got, an underpowered wireless charger. And that's pretty much it. Other than that, everything else is pretty much like the same. And the design is basically relevant and current, right? The 7, you can distinguish the 7 from the 7a, but obviously the color, but also the size of the camera bar. But they both have camera bars. Woof, 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 my freaking chihuahuas. But when it comes down to Apple, you have this design for their flagship baselines. I'm so sorry for my dogs. I'm listening to see if someone's knocking on my door. They usually get like that when somebody is near my windows. But anyways, the SE has an older design. It has the design with the Touch ID and all that. Like, I'm sure they could have modernized an SE with this design, but with Touch ID. I would have done it like this. I'd have put Touch ID on the back where the Apple logo is at. That's just me, right? And my ideas don't fit the likes for everybody. Maybe a few people will agree with me, but not everyone will agree with me. Just being honest. Yeah, so I apologize for my dogs and their loudness. If you guys heard them, I don't know if the mic picked them up or not. But, you know, overall, I'm closing this out because we're about to hit the 1 hour mark, and I want to thank everyone for being here. Really, really appreciate you guys for coming through. Again, like I said, if you want to help support the channel and, you know, have donations go straight to me, you guys can do it with that QR link. It's been up there in the corner the entire time. That goes directly to me. YouTube takes nothing out of it. But nevertheless, memberships is available for everybody. So definitely, you know, if you guys want to get exclusive videos for just you guys, live streams for just members, you know, become a member. I am fully on a roll of getting all those perks in place where you guys will have specific videos for you guys. You guys will have blog videos. I also, I do have a channel where I will talk about other things outside of tech, right? Tito Talks Whatever. And so that's actually happening. And yeah, that's just, you know, that's like a throwaway channel for me. I'll put whatever I feel like talking about on that channel. It could be gaming, wrestling, could be movies, it could be, you know, current events, things that we see on the news, whatever. I will talk on that channel for it. So definitely subscribe to that channel. You guys definitely don't want to miss on that one. But yeah, I appreciate you guys for coming in. Looks like someone did hit the QR code. So thank you so much for doing so. Really, really, absolutely appreciate that. And yeah, no, thank you for coming in and hanging out with me, Alternate Reality. I really, really appreciate it. It's my pleasure. I love doing this. I will see you guys next Friday around the same time for another podcast. Until then, enjoy the videos that I put up on here. And again, become a member to get those exclusive videos, man. I mean, I talk freely on those ones. Definitely want to go for that. Plus, too, there's a new series coming to members only before I go. And it's reacting to other tech creators' videos. And no, I'm not going to be roasting them and talking crap about them, but just reviewing their videos and yeah, just giving my opinion about how I feel about watching it. And this is like a good way for me to kind of find newer tech YouTubers and kind of showcase them. So that's also the other point. But that would be a members only exclusive. So you got to be a member in order to catch those episodes. I'll talk to you all in the next one. Thanks for checking out the live today. And yeah.